नमस्ते, प्रणाम। गीता ध्यान। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudevasutam devam kansa chanura mardanam devaki paramanandam krishnam vande jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. The seventh Adhyaya Jnana Vijnana Yoga of our reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and yesterday we read the seventh shloka where Sri Krishna says, nothing is superior to me. Matta parataram na anya kaschit. There is nothing higher than me. There is nothing superior to me. O Dhananjaya, O Arjuna, there is nothing superior to me. Mai sarvamidam protam. On me everything is strung. This entire universe that you see, this entire, the diversity that you see in this universe, in this creation, this everything is strung on me. It is strung on me, protam sutre manigana iva, like the different kinds of gems, different types of gems, different colorful, lusterful gems. They are strung on one thread in a necklace. Like that, all this diversity that you are seeing is strung on me alone. Everything rests in me. So that was a fantastic statement that Sri Krishna gave about himself, gave about the eternal Lord. And then we also read that beautiful example given by Sri Ramakrishna, that how this Brahman, which is a formless entity, the entity which is devoid of any guna, sattva, rajasa, tamasa, we cannot perceive what Brahman is. We can only experience it in the state of samadhi. Now, for the benefit of seekers, for the benefit of followers of this path of devotion or knowledge or meditation, the Brahman has taken the form of Purusha and Prakriti in one as Ardha Narishwara. And through that form of Ardha Narishwara, half man, half woman, the Brahman is trying to explain to his children, to the devotees, to the part of this creation, that this creation is nothing but the manifestation of Purusha and Prakriti, the male element, the female element, the inactive element and the active element, which forms the samambamam of this entire universe. So with that, Sri Krishna has told that this entire thing rests in me. And there might be a doubt how to imagine everything rests in him. How to imagine that yes, everything is within the body, within the function of this supreme being, one none other than one having no other entity. Ekameva dvitiyam. Now, what kind of properties, what kind of characteristics can such a one among all can have? There might be doubt in the minds of devotees. There might be doubt in the mind of Arjuna. So Krishna further elaborates that what is his nature like? Having told that everything rests in me, now Sri Krishna is telling further about himself. He is further listing down those properties to know him better and better and in depth and in totality. Like he said, having told you, I am going to tell you something through which you will come to know everything about me. So this is what in this 8th shlok that we are going to read today, Sri Krishna is going to throw some more light on what is the Lord. What is the eternal Lord? What is Lord Krishna? Raso hamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayoh pranavaha sarva vedeshu shabdaha ke paurusham nrupu. Now when we say the God is all in all, can we give some kind of examples of understanding this truth that God is in all? That is the statement Sri Krishna has made in the 6th and 7th shloka. But can we get to know something more about this statement, about the God's presence in everything and the presence of everything in the God? When he say, everything originates in me, sustains in me and dissolves in me. When he says that matta parataram na anya kinchit, there is nothing greater than me, and mai sarvamidam protam, everything is strung on me. What kind of examples how can we imagine? Is there some kind of token example to know this fact which Sri Krishna has pronounced in the 6th and 7th shlokas? Here Sri Krishna is giving those examples, those facts. This is how we can to some extent guess, we can to some extent expand our horizons of knowledge in understanding what the Lord can be. So Sri Krishna says here, Rasoham apsu kaunteya, O Kaunteya, O son of Kunti, I am the rasa, the sapidity of water. I am the sapidity of water. I am the one which is responsible, which gives you the taste and flavor and fragrance of all the things that you enjoy. It is sweet. It is so delicious. When we eat something, some delicacy, some food which is extraordinarily tasty, we cannot express, but we can experience that taste, and we say, oh, it is just so beautiful. So Sri Krishna says that rasa of apsu, of water, I am. Now what happens, okay, we will discuss it later, that rasa of water I am. Then prabhasmi shashi suryayoho, the brilliance, the radiance of the sun and moon I am. Now he is giving us example. Now we can relate something. Now we can relate the greatness of the Lord with something that we know. Otherwise, we don't know anything. And here Sri Krishna, like in the example of Sri Ramakrishna that he had given, that Ardha Narishwara form Brahman has taken. Here Sri Krishna is giving some kind of a idea for us to imagine what kind of things that the Lord has pervaded. The rasam of the apsu, the sapidity of water, the radiance of moon and sun, and pranavaha sarva vedeshu. What, I mean, the Omkar that is talked about in all the Vedas. Omkar, Om is the gist of the entire knowledge. The first word that came into existence Om. Based on that Om, all these Vedas were written, all the Upanishads came into existence. Sri Krishna says, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. I am that Omkar which is mentioned in all the Vedas. There is, if you summarize all the Vedas, if you summarize all the scriptural texts, they all end up with only one word, Om, Ik Omkar. So Sri Krishna says that Om mentioned in the Vedas, I am. And Shabda K. The K is the ether, the space, the sound of this vast space. This is what is indicated in the process of meditation, that as we keep on meditating on the Lord, we hear a sound. We hear a sound, and that sound of the space, Sri Krishna says, I am. And Paurusham Rushu, the manliness of the man I am. What more examples you want? 5 examples Sri Krishna has given what he can be understood as. He can be understood as the sapidity of water. He can be understood as the radiance of sun and moon. We can only remain awestruck seeing the radiance of sun and moon. What a wonderful, pleasant sight to see that radiance. We get impressed. We get thoroughly bulldozed by that beauty, by that luster, by that greatness. That I am. That's what Sri Krishna says. I am the Om mentioned in all the Vedas. That Pranava. I am. I am the sound of this ether. And I am the manliness of the man. Therefore, meditate upon me. That's what Sri Krishna indicates us. I am the sapidity in water, O son of Kunti. The radiance in moon and sun. I am the syllable Om in all the Vedas. Sound in ether and manliness in man. With all these examples, now at least, O Kaunteya, O Dhananjaya, O Arjuna, you can at least think about the greatness of me. These are just few examples that I am giving you. The sweetness in eatables indicates the presence of sugar in them. Similarly, the innate nature of Ishvara reveals itself in all modifications he has undergone. It is imperative for the aspirant that he recognize the presence of Ishvara in the varieties of his manifestations. Ishvara can never be manifested only in one way. Because after all, this entire creation is within him. He has to manifest in n number of ways. Each and everything that we see is filled with Ishvara. If that is the thing, then the property of each and everything is the property of Ishvara. That is what Sri Krishna is indicating. Like the sapidity of water. Now, sapidity, like I was telling you, it is the function of the taste. When we eat anything, we like it and we say, oh, it is so beautiful. Why it happens? We get the taste of anything because of water. Devoid of water, water per se is devoid of any taste. You drink plain water, you don't get any taste. But the same water, if not present in anything, you don't get the taste of that. Anything that we taste, anything that we eat, anything that we drink, it has certain taste, and that taste element is it is enhanced because of water. Now, water per se is tasteless. Pure water it has no taste. It is like Ishvara for that matter. But because of water, we can perceive the taste of things we eat, we drink. So that rasa is the Ishvara. That is the property. So rasa of water, like water helps us in getting the taste of things. It is the Ishvara which helps us in seeing this universe around us. Jnana of this kind is conducive to Vijnana, and when we get to know such knowledge about the Ishvara, then we start perceiving something. Then we can start having some kind of realization what God can be. Now here he has given these 5 beautiful examples. The rasa of water, the sapidity of water, then the radiance of sun and moon, then Pranavaha Sarva Vedeshu, the Onkar mentioned in all the Vedas, the sound of ether, Shabdaha Khe, and Paurusham Nrunu, the manliness, the Paurushatva of the man, of the human beings. Pure water is testless, but the power in it to reveal the tests of things is really the power of Ishvara. But for the indeterminate sapidity in water, the determinate difference in taste between stone and a candy cannot be made out by the tongue. If there is no water on our tongue, the saliva, we can't taste anything. A dry mouth cannot taste anything. For that matter, there cannot be 100% dry mouth, because our body itself is 70% of water when we say it. So, that is one example that he has given. Fire is another element represented by sun and the moon, the light of which, when perceived by the eyes, bring the knowledge of color, form and beauty in them, that radiance, that glazing beauty, that soothing beauty of the moon. And the glazing, the sharpness of the sun, it is perceived because of this property in them. And Sri Krishna says, I am that radiance. Ether similarly functions as the vehicle of sound. It is only because of this space that we hear the sound. The sound waves travel from one place to another, the modifications of which are the various languages and synthesis. Now, Sri Krishna says the sound which is projected through the space, I am that sound. The truths and facts in nature conveyed through languages are the Vedas. Through the word Om. That is the ultimate reality as far as any knowledge is concerned. And Sri Krishna says, I am that Om. I am that Pranava of the Vedas. This way, Ishvara reveals himself as the 5 elements, each of which has a distinctive feature in the revelation of Jnana. Now, see the beauty of this shloka. All the examples that Sri Krishna has given has got something to do with the 5 cosmic elements, the Pancha Mahabhuta, the earth, the water, the fire, the air, and the space. All the 5 cosmic principles, the Tat Pancha Mahabhuta, he has explained to us his existence in all these 5. So that is the 8th shloka of the Jnana Vijnana Yoga, where Sri Krishna again has explained to us in very strong words with these beautiful examples that the Lord is pervading in all the Pancha Mahabhuta, whether it is the sapidity of, in the form of sapidity of water, or the radiance of sun and moon, or the Om as a sound which travels through the space, which is written there down in all the Vedas, which happens the Shabdaha Khe, which happens to be the sound of the space, of the ether, of the Akasha, and Paurushat Nrunu, the manliness of the man, which indicates the property, the quality of the earth as such. So this way Sri Krishna has again explained, it is I alone who has pervaded these Panchamahabhutas, and therefore meditate upon me. With that, we finish today's reading of the 8th shloka. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.